Most on crash in the building here. This is the One West News Desk. You understand? Bring you your local, your national, and your international news to your timeline. You understand? This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started at 1 West on the 25th Street, Harlem, New York. We are under Commander Jane Hanna. We've been teaching this truth since 1969. That the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians are in fact the true biblical Jews of the Bible, and that our oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. I'm your host, Cap Saparia, along with
Officer Mathum,
also a host on the show. We got a plethora of news to bring to your timeline, and a lot of people ask, why do we do news shows here in the UPK? We're showing the relevance to what's going on in this age of society. How's that? We're showing it because it's relevant to our liberation. It's relevant to our story. The things that are happening in the earth, the wars, the famine, the food going bad, the famine is going to get worse. The natural disasters is going to get worse. The war is going to continue to escalate. All these things is prophesied in the Bible, and is directly correlated with our liberation and our enemies falling. Any opening remarks, Dr.
Sir? We can get right into it.
We can get right into it, man. Trump, of course, he's at it again, attacking his closest ally.
Right.
You understand? America was never known to attack their closest ally, the Canadians.
Mm-hmm.
But time and time again, you want to talk terrorists and continue this decline on the world economy. And then now Canada has to react to all of these threats again. Any word?
Well, America is nothing but at this point a rabid animal. You know what I mean? The poison is set into America, and America is lashing out at anybody that's close to America. Really, nobody has really been truly close to America, because America abuses his own allies or her own allies. And now this is just coming out now. And a lot of the Canadians are finding out how America has really been treating it. You know what I mean? So it's nothing new to Canadian politicians, but now the Canadian public is finding out how America really feels about it. So what we're seeing now is just the end of an empire. And this is what happens when an empire begins to decline and fall apart. You understand? If you really look at it, look at the leadership of America.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the leadership of America is non-existent, meaning the people who are running America are incompetent. The things that are happening, the decisions that are being made makes no sense. We keep looking at, America like, what's going on? Why are they making these decisions? But again, this is the moment that they were created for. Everybody who's in power was put in power for this at this very moment for a reason. I yield, sir.
You hit it right on up. It's on a rapid decline here. And this Asian society, America. Now it's a normal thing for America to go up against his own allies, even the closest one, Mexico, and you got Canada. Yeah, you just at war with everybody around you. You want to take over. You want to take over Greenland. You want to take over everything in sight. And now and then they don't expect any type of backlash.
Yeah.
You know, the so-called American public agrees with the wars at a significant decline. You know, his ratings are at a significant decline with this war or what have you. You know, they falling on our own sides here, as far as our enemies is concerned. They falling in the public's view. I mean, across the board, the Israelis, Ukrainians, in the UK. I mean, across the board, right?
Right.
Economically, all the ridiculous decisions they made has put the world on an economic decline, right? They're going up against European countries, going up against Canada, you're going up against everybody in the world. This is the fall of our enemies, man. This is the fall of America. This is the fall of Babylon.
Right.
And this is what we're seeing take place right before our very eyes, man. Let's get the article that article on the higher prices. The first one you sent.
Okay, come on, sir.
On the tariffs on the Canada. We'll get that first. We'll get other articles too, but stay tuned. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all subscribe to this channel to get the latest news. Also, classes Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. We got the chopping program on here. You understand? Thursdays and Sundays. So check us. So you understand?
Administration latest moves on Canada and Iran. It says in a matter, President Donald Trump administration reignited a trade war with Canada, pledged to bring about an economic D-Day for Iran, and spoke positives from the U.S. and 300,000 tons.
Stop it right there if you could. Any remorse on that? Here you go again, and the farmers again.
Yeah.
Then when he was running, I think on both terms, right? Oh, we got to protect our farmers. We got to protect our infrastructure. And here we go again on another economic decline, attacking your allies, which in fact affect your bottom dollar. You understand?
It says Shakai John, a Simon Kucher partner and lead of the consumer sector for North America, said these decisions mean U.S. Canada and face higher costs at the gas pump.
Come on.
They could, however, see lower beef prices given the proposed imports, though detail of that plan remain unclear. Comment on that part. Right? Do not allow the United States to be imported into their country. The reason because of all the details on that right now, because a lot of these countries don't care for from the United States. You understand? So that was just something that they're trying to force on these other countries. They're trying to force these countries that oil not coming out of the Middle East, but also that fertilizer for the farmers to use. You understand? So here we go again. This is the reason why this war makes no sense in America's defense. You understand? It makes no sense at all because it's like shooting yourself in the foot. And then you outsourced. In the last 50 years, they've been outsourcing all of their big industries. So now you got all of the industries, your steel industry, your automotive industry, your electronics industry, everything is outsourced in other countries, making you vulnerable to an economic collapse. And what we're seeing is an economic collapse. You understand? Right now, it doesn't look like that to blacks and Hispanic because we always been in an economic collapse. But now you're going to see the oppressor go crazy. And everything that they're doing right now is like, just like when you pull a fish out of the water. You see how they flop around and go crazy like that? That's what America's doing right now. We just watching the fall of America. We're watching the fall of Sodom. We're watching the fall of Egypt.
That's right.
You understand? I yield, sir.
Absolutely right. That's my point. Babylon is falling on all fronts, on all sides here.
Right.
So, it's always been time to lock in. But goddamn, what a time to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're gonna pull a little bit more of this article on here on America's attack on Canada.
As many Americans continue battling rising costs, here's a look at these new economic developments and what they mean for your wallet. The Trump administration first announced new tariffs on an estimated 5% of Canadian imports July 20th. They will schedule the all 4 days. Invitation negotiate apart. And listen, those negotiations fell apart because Canada, under America's really not every demand that America makes and every move goes. You understand? And everybody's moving to the Chinese currency, Russian currency, the ruble. Right. You understand? As we speak right now, because Japan is an American ally, they're in the debacle of their life because their economy is totally falling apart. You understand? Because they believed in America, and America is sticking it to them. And that's the crazy thing. You understand? And when you believe in a beast, the beast eventually bites you. And that's what's happening to a lot of countries like Germany, Poland, you understand, Japan, all of these allies in NATO. This is what's happening to them now. Everybody's starting to realize that, oh man, we made a bad move. You understand? And I mean, if you look at the history of America, it has never stood on
it's treaties.
It's treaties. There you go. Thank you, sir. It stood on the treaties and the agreements that they signed. You understand? And we've seen that. And this is what's crazy to me, Slagia, sir, if I may.
Oh, please.
This is what's crazy to me is how can you be a grown ass country. You watch America do what America does, and you still trust in America. You understand? We've been living in America all our lives, and we know what America does. You understand what I'm saying? And I know we were at one point the blinders were pulled over our eyes. You understand? We were in the spirit of America. But as for a country on the outside looking in, watching what America does, they should have known a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? And that's the thing that baffles me. But again, everything that's happening is happening for a reason. You understand? And it's in the everything that's happening at this time is supposed to be happening at this time. You understand? I yield, sir.
No, excellent point. Everything that is happening now is supposed to be happening. It ain't by mistake. It ain't by chance. But we are very, very in the midst of the last days. We've been hearing it for decades, right?
Yeah.
It's the last days, y'all. But now we point it out bit by bit, little by little, and we bring in scriptural relevance to what's going on.
Right.
The Strait of Hormuz, Iran, the great battle, all these nations coming into the valley of Jehoshaphat. Nation shall rise against nation. I don't know who America is not against.
Right.
I can count everybody that they against right now more than the ally.
Right.
At this point, you coming up against every goddamn European nation. I remember months ago, JD Vance went over there, was shunning everybody. It was damn near like a smear, what do you call it, a smear campaign?
He
belittled them.
Yeah, he belittled
Shamed them.
Shaming that. There you go.
Shamed the whole.
Shaming everybody.
Shaming the whole UK when you the one that should be shamed.
Right.
And they your ally. Like, you supposed to like big them up and like, yeah, we're gonna fight with the Europeans. We're gonna make sure we're all on the same page. He was talking smack to him. Like, he went over there not to build but to destroy.
Right.
So the social view of the people in power over there.
Right.
And now we don't even know over here. They're having a political uproar over there, just like similar to over here. They're coming up against all the so-called African immigrants, Muslim immigrants, and they want to kick them all out of the country. Where do you think that started at?
Right.
They all the same, yo. Whether it be the UK, London, France, the white man is the devil.
Right.
don't think he's a Spaniard. They have quality morals, and they done blah blah. Oh, he's bald Algerian.
Mm-hmm.
He's
Norwegian.
He's Norwegian though.
Sweet,
come on. And the list goes. He's from Denmark.
Right,
Denmark. He's Irish.
Right.
He's not like the others. They are the devil.
Salak, if I may, sir.
Please.
Problem is because they've been in rulership so long, and we've never experienced righteous rulership. And I'm talking about us in our days. We've never seen righteous rulership. So what we're seeing is proper rulership in our mind. And
right.
Now we're seeing how incompetent these people really are. It's really the veil being pulled from our eyes, and we're understanding that the things that we've been living under was horrible rulership. And it's coming to our eyes, and now people are rebelling. People are speaking up now. You understand? And when I say the people are speaking up, I'm talking about blacks and Hispanics. We got a way to go, because we still got people in those positions that are our people, but are living for their own purpose, not for the purpose of their people, not for the salvation of your own people, or not for the liberation of your own people, but to satisfy your own coffers. You understand? To fill your own pockets. And a man still living as a slave and loving to be a slave is going to deceive his own people. The scriptures say, what the scripture say? You are of your father, the devil.
Come on.
And when you take on the spirit of America, you become America itself. You are of your father, the devil. You understand? When we speak of the devil, we don't talk about, you understand, somebody in a red suit with horns and a pitchfork. We talking about a deceiver. Devil just means deceiver. You understand? And when you believe in a deceiver, you become a deceiver. You understand? And you deceive your people into staying and remaining slaves.
Mm-hmm.
This is why we got people out here still voting for civil rights.
Right.
After 60, 70 years, emancipated in 1865, right? 1965, you're still fighting for civil rights. 2026, still fighting for civil rights. What is that? Almost 70 years later?
Come on.
Still fighting for civil rights, fighting for something that the oppressor will never give you. You understand? Still running to the polls. We never look at the situation. We talk about this every week, Kat. Every time we get into this, we talk about this every week. You never see the Asians running to the polls. You never hear them on TV. We all got to stand up and vote. You understand? One person, one vote. We never hear that from the Arabs. We never
vote or die.
Vote or die. Never hear that from them.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Listen, you see them in their stores watching us run up and down the street to the poll voting.
You ever seen an Asian with a I voted sticker?
I voted. Hell no. That's amazing.
Come on.
You understand? Think about this. Cap just made a point. Have you ever seen an Asian with an I voted sticker? But think about this. They own damn near every corner store in our neighborhoods. How is that? They didn't vote. You understand? They didn't vote for that. But listen, scriptures tell us every nation is against us. You understand what that Psalm 83?
Mm-hmm.
They are confederate against us. Meaning they are devising plans to keep us oppressed, just like we are right now. And then the thing about it is, you got people who really believe Asians work hard. They work hard. Think about this, right? You have an Asian who was dead poor, just like you are right here in America, and they here and live this American reality. They didn't come from wherever they came from, Vietnam, whether it be China, whether it be, wherever they come from, they didn't bring any money with them. They make deals with America to come into our neighborhoods and oppress us, to continually oppress us. And we believe that they work hard, and they say that we don't work hard. The very people that built this nation, they say that we don't work hard. You understand? I talked to some Africans when I was working, when I did the part-time at Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
They was like, we weren't told that y'all work like that. You work hard. I say we all work hard, but America tells y'all something else when y'all come into this country.
Mm-hmm.
They believe the propaganda, and this is the reason why all of those dumbass reality shows that we keep letting them draw us into, making us look like the stepping fetches.
Right. What's them shows that the white folks used to do and put on the blackface?
Yeah, that's the caricatures. That was the blackface. What they called it? They called it.
I can't believe I can't remember what it's called. But we do it willingly now. They get the worst of the worst of us.
Yep.
They get the worst of the worst of us. Put them on reality TV. They get the worst of us. Put them in the music industry. What the hell? What the hell is that? What's that woman name? You got the Cardi B trash.
Right.
You got a bunch of mumble rappers trash.
Right.
What's the one that Sexy Red trash? It's a bunch of trash out there, right?
Glorilla.
And Glorilla. or what have you. They got a bunch. They got a bunch of trash out there, and I gotta get the name of what they used to call these particular shows.
We did a class on a couple years ago. Yeah. Off.
1 second.
Step and fetch. Remember,
Minstrel shows.
there you go, Mitchell. Yeah.
It was on. I was thinking. I was like, no, that's not the name of my mind.
Yeah,
Minstrel shows, but they got they make sure they show Cardi B stank ass.
Right.
Excuse my language. Stank assholes on so-called these shows called baddies, all these reality TV shows or what have you, and then these are people put to the forefront for people to mimic.
Right.
They put it. The radio is so disgusting. I can't even listen to the radio. I can't. I don't know the last time I listened to 92Q.
Shit.
Or 95.5.
Yeah.
That's a local news right there. Yo.
Right.
Y'all probably don't know what that is, but it's been years because it's been saturated with trash.
Yeah.
It's been saturated with minstrel shows. I get disgusted by seeing these. And then you had Megan Thee Stallion last year twerking for Kamala Harris.
That's all she can do. That's all. And the thing about it is, just like you say, I mean, you hit it right on the money, right? They bring the worst of the worst. Think about this, right? Of all of the Jill Scotts,
right?
Of all of the
India
Ari, she could have brought on there somebody to represent us fully to the max. You chose a Megan Thee Stallion. Think about it, right? And I ain't gonna say I get it, but I understand you going for the young crowd, but you're also tearing our character up because Jill Scott, India Ari, and there's a whole lot of other young singers out there that you could have brought that would have gave the young people influence to come that would have drawn them in. But you chose the work of those. Think about the song. Wow. Because that's the first thing when I hear Megan Thee Stallion, that's the first thing I think of. You understand what I'm saying? You bring the worst of the worst.
Okay.
And then our image, think about this, right? Because when these races and things go on, this is global. So people get this. This is the identity that people have of us. You understand? When they come here or when they see us.
Yeah.
You understand? So, and then the thing about it is you pay them enough money to tear our character down. And the only thing she does is come on stage, just like you said, and twerk. That's it. That's all people want to see. That's it. And that's the character. When they see our women on the street, that's who they envision our women to be, right there. I yield, sir.
You want to continue this article? Or you want to move on?
It's on you, sir.
Again, I know we probably got a sidetrack. The white man's the devil,
right?
But all in all, Trump is on another tyrant here, another rant. And so that's what he might get on. You want to hear in the end?
Okay, you listen to me.
1 second. But again, I probably don't know because the damn the news ain't. You know what I heard? You know what I heard about Gary and the first, Gary and Annie and the first
What's that?
TikTok. The residents of Gary and I heard it from them
Right.
on TikTok first. Yeah, we've been without power for X amount of days. I kept hearing it from TikTok.
Oh yeah,
Hearing it from TikTok.
right.
I didn't hear Fox. I didn't hear Bloomberg. I didn't hear
No,
CBS. I didn't hear nobody talk about it for whatever. Any words on that?
sir. But I mean, what do you expect? Gary, Indiana. It's a black town, a black city. You understand that? Why should they move their feet? Why should they be in a rush to get the power and stuff back on? Why should they be in a rush? You understand? And this is the reason why we should separate ourselves from them in every aspect of life. You understand? Think about this too, right? And I don't want to get too far off, but they got two brothers warring against each other. And I'm talking about Shador Sanders and Deshaun Watson.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? This is the reason why we need to have our own leagues. You understand? Because they're dictating all kinds of scenarios and things that aren't really happening. They're making them happen just by talking about it and bringing it up as an issue.
Long cries, but also here.
You understand? And when we put our faith and our fate in the oppressor, what more can you expect? Salaki, if I may, sir.
Please.
35 million, and I'm not going too far. $35 million on Rash Field. But we can't get AC systems in our schools. We can't get heating systems in the wintertime. But they spent $35 million in 2 years. $35 million on Rash Field.
Right. You should be asking. Well, you should be asking your representatives what they really investing for. You giving a billionaire $500 million for their organization,
right? Right.
You're giving a billionaire $500 million to $1 billion, and what does it do for your city? What does it do for the people of your city? Brian and Scott and Governor Westmore, they just approved this renovation at the M&T Bank Stadium. All this renovation, everybody's excited. Oh, we just got the statues back. Johnny Unitas, Ray Lewis statue back. We about to open it up and all these renovations. And I'm rolling through Baltimore City.
Right.
Every 100 foot is a goddamn pothole, but we ain't got no money.
Oh man, I just banged the pothole, this morning.
Come on.
You understand? And I mean, oh. So you mean to tell me $35 million on Rash Field, then right around the bend at the stadium, they put more money into downtown right there, when all of that money could have been dispersed and could have gave us better schools and put us in better situations. Better
schooling, better computers, better teachers, better funding for the teachers, better pay for the teachers.
Right.
Better schools, better filtration systems, air conditioning. Goddamn. We talking about, and then what also obsessed me with them on this? The superintendent of Baltimore City has been getting pay increase after pay increase after pay increase when the numbers are continuing to decline. Our children cannot read.
Right.
This is now come on now we getting local now. The children cannot. I remember growing up, I'm with my peers. And my peers was like, yeah, I can't even read. I'm like, what the hell happened to you?
Right.
I guess I skated through because I can read.
Right.
I ain't gonna say I'm like an English teacher, but I can read. I can get by. You know what I'm saying? It's a lucky, but we talking about in high school, graduating each year cannot read.
Salaki, sorry, if I may. Again, this is how you destroy black families, right? and it's a war on blacks and Hispanics, natives. Understand? Think about that. Think about the year when they had no student left behind.
Yep, that's when.
What the whole purpose? The whole purpose of no student left behind. Now you won't feel bad when your child doesn't move on to the next grade, because now it's not going to happen. Now you won't feel bad when your child doesn't walk across the stage, because it's not going to happen. But the disappointment is going to come when they get out there in the working world and they have no skills at anything. They can't read. They can't comprehend. They don't know math to get them a simple job. What's the alternative? Streets and crime. The whole point is they call it from the school to prison pipeline, right? It's still a school to prison pipeline, but we're going to follow you all the way through school so that you know nothing. So you have no alternative but to be here. That's it. Because think about it, right? At all of the white county schools, they did not take out the skills centers. Mm-hmm. Remember how they had, all right, every school had a
I forget the term. It was like a
we had machine, we had shop, we had woodworking, we had a printing class.
They had cosmetology at my high school.
Yeah, they had it at mine too. Because you see the girls come to school with the heads in the bag. Mm-hmm. They always came to school. We had cosmetology in school too. You had every student when I was coming through school
the music
had home economics. You had to be able to fill out a checkbook. You had to be able to fill out an application.
Taxes, properly. They doing breakdown on taxes, and
you had to be able to
income and rent and everything. I remember that.
You had to do all of that. We would sit in class and they would say you would have to act like you had to pay your rent or you had to go pay a bill.
I think they called it a selective credit. It was was it called a selective credit?
That was regular home ec. When I was in school, that was regular home ec. Everybody got that. Okay. Everybody had home economics. You understand? But if you training everybody to be
Officer Batak said vocational schools.
Yeah, vocational schools, right. A Batak, that used to be in every school. When I was in school, every school, it wasn't called vocational school because every school had it. No matter where you went, it was already there. Auto
mechanics in there.
Yeah.
It was especially back in the day, not now at all.
At the back of the school.
It was a driving school.
Yeah.
In the school.
In the school. That was when I was coming up, right? So it was such thing as a vocational school.
Talk said they was electives. They had like electives. They called it.
I'm talking about it wasn't electives. It was automatic. You was mandatory that I was in school. So that was by the time 1990 came, that's when they had vocational schools was started coming up in the 90s, in the late. So you had to choose where you wanted to go to, because my buddy he went to Forest Park, but he went to West Side Skill Center on up in the village, in the West Side Skill Center,
right?
Because they took it out of Forest Park. Once they redesigned Forest Park, they took a lot of stuff out of Forest Park. So he had to go all the way up to West Side Skill Center to do automotive. You understand what I'm saying? But back in the day, all of that stuff was at every school.
Can we segue from Gary? We can go back to Gary, and I want to pull this quick article real quick.
Concert. You want to send it to me? You want me to read it?
I am going to send it to you. Give me 1 second.
But that was the thing from, and I'm saying from the 60s all the way to the mid 80s when I got out of school. You understand what I'm saying?
Hey, Shalom, sister. Shalom. Shalom, sister.
Think about this, right? We had home economics in elementary and junior high school and into high school. That was automatic. You understand? So if you're teaching people how to be successful in life, you're teaching black people how to outdo the oppressor. So what we got to do is we got to take all of that school, all of that stuff that makes them successful, that gives them an edge, because we already had an edge that gives them a bigger jump over us. We got to take all of that stuff out of school. And that's exactly what happened. So it didn't start in the 90s. The preparation started for it in the 80s. When you see people getting out of school and being successful, and the numbers in your prison system are not up to par, you have to make changes here to affect the people here. You understand what I'm saying? So in the 1990s, not only that, what else did it correlate with? Correlated with the gangster rap. So when you start something here, and then all of a sudden you got people who are not educated here, and then all of a sudden you put something in their mind that gives them that destruction feeling.
Right.
This is what we got in the 2000s right now. We're looking at what they started in the 80s. We're looking at that right now in the 2000s.
Right.
When they destroy your neighborhood, think about this, right? You can go back. I can remember in the 70s into the early 80s how clean Baltimore used to be. Remember not Kurt Schmoke, but Mayor, what's his name? What was the white dude name? Schaefer. Schaefer had the little trash ball game incentives, and that's when he made all of the trash cans in Baltimore City look like basketball hoops. So the top of it was orange like the rim, and then the little things coming down would look like the nets was white. And they had it a little cupped off, and you could shoot your trash into the trash can. Look up the old commercial trash ball in Baltimore. It was a commercial that they had. Baltimore stayed clean.
Right. Mayor Governor Westmore does not care about black people.
Ooh, yeah.
Mayor Brandon Scott does not care about black people.
Right.
All your people in them seats in City Hall or what have you. It ain't a call out, but you trash, yeah. You're mismanaging the money. You're mismanaging the money, and the children and the families and the people of Baltimore gotta suffer from your horrible leadership.
Right.
Your horrible. Oh, the crime rate is down. Call the police about a minor incident in your neighborhood. See if they show up. Call the police about a minor incident at your apartment complex, in your home. It can even be a car accident.
Mm-hmm.
How many times have the police just not shown up for you? That's how the crime rate is going down. They're not active. The crime is there.
I didn't even.
I mean, think about how many times. How long did it take for them people to come up there for that accident up there that you saw for with that trailer incident? Then with the sister, somebody accused the sister of.
Oh yeah.
How long did it take?
It took them a while. It took them a while. We had to stand up there with the sister up in Towson. You understand?
You got to call a couple times. You got to call. Hey, yeah, we called it earlier. You got to call. You got to call the cops twice.
Wait a minute. This was even worse, right? It looked like the two county police came. Looked like they was irritated.
They
had to be but
they lazy.
It wasn't Salakia, sir.
Go ahead.
I think they were more irritated because they realized it was the oppressor's fault and not the sister fault.
Right.
And they didn't want to write her up. If it wasn't, and I hate to say it was a beast too. Mm-hmm. But if it wasn't for that state police being there,
right,
they would have let her off.
Because state police has got priority over them, especially over them traffic incidents.
Yeah, state police. If it wasn't
because they real DOT.
Yeah,
the city police ain't really Department of Transportation. They more criminal type.
Right. They was county police too.
Right.
They was irritated.
100%.
You understand? And the state police is the one who gave her the citations. Mm-hmm. The sister hit us back, texted us back, and thanked us for pulling over and coming up there to help her out. But this is the thing too, right? This is the reason why We have to stick together. And we say this, and I know it's a cliche, but we are all we have. We are the only ones that are going to bring us through. You understand? And here in this UPK is the only place righteous rule. You understand? And the reason why we're going through most of the things that we're going through because we are not obedient in the ways that we should be. And we're seeing what we're supposed to see when you're living under the oppressor and you're living in the spirit of the oppressor. You understand? These are the things that are supposed to happen. Think about this, right? We don't want to go too far off, but think about this Nolan Wells incident. Think about everything that they're going through to keep, you understand, this a lot of this information out of the news. You understand? And we keep sending our children into the wolf's den.
Right.
We keep sending our children into hell, believing that they're going to get a better education. You waited till this boy just graduated, and he's unalive, and now everybody's sitting around saying they don't know what happened to him. You was out there with 30 plus other white people.
Right.
Now, and you know what's really pissing me off now is when you start seeing all the little the AI things with him shaking his head and shit like that. You know, you should have thought about Slovakia, not him. I'm not talking about him. But when you see these parents, you understand, and I know they can't be this can't be the first time that they hearing this. You understand? But what's the first thing that we say, man? As soon as I get some money, I'm moving up away from these black people. I'm moving around with white people. And every time we do that, this is what happens. Sister goes to a sleepover with 5 other white girls, and then she's the only one that I'm going to say wake up dead.
Come on, man. That's a black people term.
Yeah, wake up dead. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, but think about how often this happens to us. This is not. It'd be different if this was the first time it happened. This is something out of the ordinary, but this is not out of the ordinary.
Right.
We watch on videos how white people think about the boat incident with the brother on the boat incident. If it wasn't for them niggas jumping off of that boat, jumping in the water and all of that, helping them.
Montgomery Ball.
Yeah, you understand the Montgomery Ball. You understand? If it wasn't for that, what were the possibilities of them unaliving that brother right there on that pier? Mm-hmm. Listen, because these people unaliving us with no guilt and no fear, knowing that, yeah, they probably could get off. You understand what I'm saying? The possibilities of them getting off is high. Understand this, right? When you don't have equal rights, you have no rights.
Right.
And again, equal rights is something that we believe we have, but we don't. The Equal Rights Act has never been ratified. In order for a law to go into effect, you have to have 38 states to agree upon it. In 2020, which was the last time, it failed. Mm-hmm. We don't have equal rights, so why do we keep going around believing that we got equal rights? You understand? When these police,
what you said, the illusion
of inclusion.
Come on, man.
It's an illusion, and the thing about it is, every time they bring up a law, we believe that is really a law until you start looking into the law books, and they tell you that a law is not in effect until it has been ratified. Once you ratify a law, this is the reason why equal rights has never been ratified. Why do you think police can unalive you and get off so scot-free? Because you don't have the same rights as white people do. We keep believing that we're on the same equal playing field, but we have never been on the same equal playing field. Why would a person who owns you put you on the same level as them? Why would they give you the same power that they have?
Right.
It doesn't make sense. If you running the monopoly game, why would you let somebody beat you? If you own the bank and you own all of the property and all of the houses, why would you give the person that you're tearing apart, why would you give them an equal footing?
Exactly.
Doesn't make sense. And we keep believing that, all we got to do is keep going out and voting. Voting has not gotten us anything up to this point.
Right, and a lot of these cat, man, a lot of these black folk, they get up in a seat, they get comfortable, and they they get they big paycheck. Now they think they white.
Yep.
Now they think they white folk.
Yep.
And then eventually they always come against the people. They start coming against the people, man. Yo, I'm telling you, Governor Westmore, you a piece of trash, man.
Yeah.
Governor Westmore, I'm only saying you're a piece of trash because of your works. Because of your works, man. Y'all coming down on black folk, especially poor black folk. You know, the extortion is real. You know, the Maryland Department of Transportation needs to be investigated. Maryland Easy Pass needs to be investigated.
Oh, you know what they did to me?
What's that?
That $22,000.
You already know. Listen, this is nothing new. 22K, 10K. Everybody got a 5K plus bill owed to the goddamn collections of Maryland, and it's not even. It's because of the interest.
Right.
It's not even like you can pay. You'll be able to manage to pay off. Okay, I got a couple tours. Make a ticket here and there, boom, boom, boom. But the interest on it is extortion.
So, like, if I may, sir,
please.
I got a question for you, right?
And then wonder why they got VA tags.
How many tickets do they allow you to get before they suspend your registration?
I'm not sure.
Well, they sent me a box of tickets like that. A box of tickets like that. The box of tickets was
you told me about this. No, go ahead.
The box of tickets was so heavy, I thought somebody sent me a gift. When I shook it, I was like, oh, somebody sent me something. When I opened it up, it was a box full of tickets. It had to be, this is a novel. This had to be 900 citations. Because a book about that thick, right?
Right.
Because I know when I picked it up, it was about that thick like that. A novel, right? Tickets. So I'm saying to the lady, like, well, why would y'all let my thing get to that far before suspending my registration or something, or sending me
some type of notice? A phone call, email. Everybody got an email, especially today.
Right. So
emails, notice, mail. Anything.
The thing about it, the lady said to me, oh, I see where you registered your license plate, but it fell off for some reason. We don't know why it fell off. Well, if it fell off, you supposed to notify me, especially when you continually sending me. Anyway, it was $22,000. Now I'm thinking it's a typo. So I got to call them and like, yo, y'all send me a what's the name for $22,000. Yep, that's what it is. With all of those, just like you said, with all of the late fees and interest and all of that like that. Oh, but we got a special.
Right.
We got a special.
Right.
All you got to do is pay $2,200. Now, the only thing that saved me was the Most High blessed me with getting my refund back at that time. But my thing was, my registration should have been suspended after $22,000. So if you didn't do that, then evidently you must have known that, oh, this ain't no mistake right here. We doing this on purpose.
It's an attack on it's not just an attack on the poor. It's an attack on black people.
Right.
And guess who's not doing a goddamn thing about it? Governor Westmore.
Right.
Ain't you black? Ain't you the black? I'm the black of the black governor, and I'm Democrat, and we're gonna do all the things for the black.
I'm questioning that.
I'm the black of the black mayor, and I grew up on the west side of Baltimore. I love black people. I got an afro.
Right.
Let me Mayor Bernard Scott, and I met him before too. Like, he seemed genuine, but at the end of the day, you a goddamn politician.
Yeah.
And black people is dying and starving in the ghettos, dying. and starving, and now we have extortion to the point people can't drive.
Right.
People don't have the right to drive because we so oppressed. You understand what I'm saying? Now, let me sidebar. This started on the education tip.
Right.
We got millions of dollars of state funds, all this money for the Baltimore Ravens and M&T Bank Stadium. Rashfield. We got all this money for Camden Yards at the Royal Park.
Yep.
You understand? And they trash. I mean, goddamn, they got this new ownership. Don't get me started on the O's.
Listen,
Don't get me started on the O's.
They suck.
They trash. Don't get me started on O's. I bought this. There might be more in there. Please, if you need to go check. Don't get me started on the Baltimore Orioles. But the city's money, you know, outside of the city, Marylanders in general, you know, time and time again, flipping the bill for billionaires. Meanwhile, your sons and your daughter's schools don't have air conditioning. Your sons and your daughters' teachers aren't paid properly. Your sons and your daughters cannot do math because of the failed system. It's ridiculous, man.
Salaki, if I may.
Please.
Remember,
the wireless.
Remember what we said, right? And now I'm starting to believe it because I was like you, because we met him out there. Remember that Juneteenth when we met him, right? We talked to
and that gay ass shirt, yeah, they had that gay ass shirt on.
Up close, we talked to him right there, and you want to believe that, this, maybe he might be genuine. You know what I mean? And one thing that we have to remind ourselves, remember, he has the highest position in Baltimore, right?
Right.
Anytime you have the highest position in any of the oppressors' realms, you have to sign your life over to the oppressor. Meaning, and I don't mean, slit your finger and touch blood and all of that, mix blood and all that. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is when you become the mayor, when you become the governor, when you become anybody in a high position in the oppressor's government.
If I get elected mayor, they gonna fire me.
Yeah.
They gonna get me out of here.
Well, see,
everybody getting off of it. Listen, come on, yo. I'm gonna cause some trouble.
You have a mandate, a local mandate. You have a local mandate within your city or your state to uphold certain things, meaning that Blacks, Hispanics, and Natives have to remain oppressed. You cannot give them anything to bring them out of poverty.
Right.
You understand? And once they come out of poverty, they have to be in compliance with the oppressor. This is the people that you see that, I only like living around white people. I don't like living around black people. Black people, they live in poor conditions. They don't know how to keep their neighborhoods up, not understanding that these conditions were not created by us, but by the oppressor. So that black people could feel about black people in that way. So much so that I want to live around white people. I remember being a young kid. I want to move out Randallstown or Woodlawn. Back in those days when I was young, it was the shit to live in those places. You understand?
Then it was I can't wait to always Mills. Then it's down Reisterstown, Maryland. Then it's Winchester.
We used to go out there to steal bikes. Because why? Because them oppressors had some of the best bikes.
That's
so
all.
We go out Randallstown and Woodlawn just to steal bikes.
And real quick, Woodlawn and Randallstown now is all black. It's negative. It's like an extension of the city at this point.
You know what I mean? So because they put us in so much poverty, it makes us want to move to where they are, to be where they are, to shun your own people just to rub elbows with them. You understand? And to rub elbows with them a lot of times means death.
Mhm.
We seeing that right now. You understand? So now when you start looking back at a lot of these people, it seemed like, remember when some days you say, oh, he committed suicide and things like that. He was living out here and he committed suicide. Now you got to start looking back and thinking about some of that stuff now. You understand? Because a lot of stuff is coming coming to the a lot of the truth is bubbling to the surface. You understand about what's going on. You understand? We're starting to see how these people really feel about us.
Right.
A lot of us don't understand and gonna have to experience it the hard way.
Right.
You understand?
100%.
I yield, sir.
Before we get on to the other national, international news, I just want to sidebar on this article here. Back to class, Baltimore school CEO faces challenge to improve low student performance. I'm gonna share this to the stream here. Did you get that? Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah. Something.
Before you share that, right?
Mm-hmm.
He has to. It's going to take 12 years, at least 12 years, to erase all of that. And I'm gonna give it 20 years. Now, the reason why, right? Because you already have a program in place that says no student left behind, right? The average student, let's say a third grader reading on the first grade level, right? So third graders, it's gonna be hard for you to get them to better. So that program, you're gonna have to let that program run out, and those people run out, and you got to start with the kids that's basically going into those what they call it. What's the program for the 4-year-olds and 3-year-olds? Head Start.
Yeah.
Head Start. You got to really start with the Head Start program.
And this is what they also got to do. Instead of doing what they're doing now, you got to start helping people, holding people back, holding them accountable. Hey, listen, you didn't do X, Y, and Z. Nigga, you can't read. Yeah. Sister, you can't read.
Yep.
We got to hold you. We got to get you prepared for society.
Yep.
Do it. You know what I'm saying? I remember my father made sure I was he put me in tutoring.
Right.
He paid all this money in tutoring and then counseling and all this other stuff. That's good. Those things, those actions have to happen. The hell with the numbers and fudging the numbers up and try to look like you're doing so well. The kids cannot. I mean, I cannot get past that. We're not even talking about reading comprehension. We're just talking about reading in general, a word.
Right.
I mean, a word, Matham.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't talking about reading comprehension. We ain't talking about all the other elaborate things that come after those things. As far as English is concerned, this is why we can't critically think. This is why we on such a base level of understanding, because they allow these things to happen in not educational systems. And Mayor Brandon Scott can't see it. That's why he's approving, and his cabinet is approving all of these raises.
Right.
All of these raises in the education department, and you're failing terribly. You're failing terribly.
Right.
Do you understand? It's disgusting. It's gross. It's something that shouldn't be ignored. And you get on TV and you get on a podcast and you glorify yourself. You should say, you know what? We got more. You should say this. We got more work to do.
Right.
Our children need help. We need more funding. We need more accountability. We need more of this. We need more of that. But instead, you take a pay increase. The people in charge of the education department take a pay increase. All these pay increase, but a failure all around about. Right? And who has to pay for that? Not with their money, but with their intellect. With their intellect, the children got to pay for your failed leadership with their minds.
Know what I propose, sir?
Please.
I propose homeschooling. Now, I know people do homeschooling, right? But every neighborhood or every community should have 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna say about 10.
No, you know what I propose? The Israelite School of UPK take over City Hall.
Oh yeah.
Take over the Board of Education. Take over the mayor's office. And guess what? The street's gonna be clean.
Right.
The school's gonna do 100,000% better. Why? Because we have morality. We have something called morals.
Yeah.
You understand? Governor Westmore, Mayor Brandon Scott. We have something called morality and a sense of urgency towards something that needs to be addressed here, right? But we worried about Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is a millionaire. Not even him. His boss is a billionaire.
Right.
And you want to take all these families up to Orioles Park, and you want to take all these families up to what is it? The Raven Rashfield or the
Raven Stadium.
M&T Bank Stadium, because they family got murdered, right? We're going to show you how to really stop the murders, man. We're going to make sure none of them drugs come into the ports down in Dundalk, dum-dum. We're going to make sure no ounce of drug get put on a truck out of the goddamn ports in Baltimore. They was running around with their heads cut off. Why was they running around with their heads cut off when that bridge fell? Because they dollar getting affected. Them goddamn kingpins.
Right.
One of the 3 major ports for heroin and cocaine, let alone a fentanyl. Yeah. And Mayor Brandon Scott just let him scroll in. You're black. I got an afro. Vote for me, the black mayor, and you got a black. I'm gonna stay on the ass. Yeah. Governor Westmore on your watch. If I was the mayor, it'd be a dog day. I'll be down there with him with a dog with a drugs.
Think about this, Slock, if I make sense.
We will choke Baltimore dry of drugs overnight. And they're right, Madame. We're gonna be down there at the port. Me and Madame gonna be down there with the port. ARs.
I'm with that.
We're gonna be down there with the ARs, legally, of course.
Yeah.
We legal owners, of course. And, with the dogs, we're gonna be down there with the presses.
Yeah.
We're gonna down there with the presses. Yeah. But I'm off.
Give me some time. But listen,
I'm off it. Go ahead.
I'm thinking about this though, right? Think about this: $35 million in 2 years for Rashfield.
Come on,
right?
Yeah.
I don't know how many millions of dollars they put into the Ravens Stadium and Camden Yards. Right. All of the money that they spent, and I believe it was 50 million, at least 50, starting off right down there at in Canton, where they built all of those new condominiums at. With they got the volleyball field, they got the pickleball field.
Harbour East,
right there where right there.
It's on the water, right?
Boston Street.
Harbour East.
Yeah, Harbour East. Okay. Right there on the water, right? At least 50 million, and they still building, right? Mm-hmm. I ask you, how many computers can you get into Baltimore City schools? How many millions do you only need? $1 million. How many computers can you get for $1 million in the Baltimore City school?
A ridiculous amount.
So now let's take 2 million. How many AC systems and heating systems can you fit?
A ridiculous amount.
Okay, let's take 3 million. How can you give those students a better education with properly paid teachers?
A ridiculous amount.
$5 million can clear up Baltimore City's problem
across the board.
Years
across the board,
because you properly paying the teachers that well deserve it. You understand what I'm saying? You just put that. Now we just counted up 35 million, 50 million, another 50 million, 135, $200 million in Baltimore City, just downtown alone, Harbour East alone. The stadiums in Harbour East alone, $200 million, and they don't have money to fix the school system. Just like you said, the superintendent is steadily getting raised. Why is he steadily getting raises? Because the task at hand is to send blacks and Hispanics through school uneducated, so that we can keep our prison systems filled, so we can keep the drugs in the street that we claim we can't control. You understand what I'm saying? The drugs that they bringing in, mind you. You understand? Think about that day in June 2019 when they had 33,000 pounds in the Philly port.
Right.
On the same day, and I know it's not much, but 333 pounds came into the Baltimore port on the same day.
Right. Think
about this too, right? Nobody got arrested. Nobody was prosecuted in either case. You know where this container come from, because it has to have a point of origin before it can get on a boat.
Bill of lading.
And it has to go to somebody.
Right.
You understand? So we know that we're not the ones bringing it in. And no arrest. Whenever you get a drug bust that large and no arrests are made, this is
somebody in power.
This is the people in power destroying. This is how they destroy our neighborhoods. This is what they do to us.
Right.
Anybody can check that out. June 2019, the port of Philadelphia and the port of Baltimore got pounds in on the same day. Drug busts on the same day. Now, if they drug bust 33,000 pounds in Philly, that means 2 or 3 containers got through.
Right.
They're going to give up some to get some in. You understand? That's what they do to make them seem like they're doing their job. And all the way through, and remember, 2019 was when COVID was in.
Right.
Stuff was supposed to be shut down.
And also, can I point something out to you? You know why it goes through? Because the cats down there ain't getting paid.
Right.
So you know who's gonna pay them? Cartel.
Yeah. Why not?
The police. Whoever's in charge, whoever getting a cut, gonna pay them, and they're gonna turn the blind eye. Now, just imagine everybody down there in UPK.
Right.
Imagine the UPK with morals and values don't give a damn about a goddamn dollar.
Right.
I'm not letting no cocaine in my city.
Right.
The UPK ain't letting no heroin. What else, my thumb? Pills, ecstasy.
How about that?
Any kind fentanyl, of drug. Any drug at all. Weed into the city. But you know why it's allowed? Because you got Christians down at the port.
Yep.
You got Christianity, you got Islam, and you got a system that they don't pay anybody that's going to take $1 any way they can. Including Governor Westmore.
Yep.
I'm just saying. Including Mayor Brandon Scott, including any president or city council or anybody in a seat that went now they feel mighty and powerful, want to come down on poor black people. You're a piece of trash. You are a piece of trash. You understand? Try not to be a piece of trash. You ever try that?
I ain't tried.
You ever try not to be a piece of trash? Ever come down to the people and see the problems and see how we can resolve? But we're living in utter poverty and destruction and desolence and drug addiction and illnesses. And you worried about Virginia tax. Oh my. And you worried about Virginia tax? And you worried about Department of Transportation? We're trying to make sure that everybody has a Maryland tag. Years ago, we was trying to get you to investigate the Easy Pass in Maryland, dumb. Hold up, when it was under the white boy, what was the white boy, the last mayor? Hogan.
Right, Hogan.
Governor Hogan.
Right.
Governor Hogan. We was trying to get Governor Hogan to investigate the Easy Pass of Maryland. We was trying to get the Governor Hogan to investigate the Easy Pass of Maryland. You know what the Easy Pass of Maryland did? Oh, we're gonna come up with these programs, forgiveness programs.
Yeah, how about that?
Everybody
still made you pay though. And it should have been illegal. Come
on, my thumb.
You know, I mean, because
I
was registered. All of my paperwork was in order. If it fell off,
I had Easy Pass in the window.
Yeah. It should have been. That should have been illegal. But look at the oppressor that we living under. You understand? And this is the reason why this system in this country has to fall. You understand? Because this is where we get it mistaken at, right? We keep looking at these black people that are in high positions, and we believe things are going to change. But nothing can change when you're under the thumb of the oppressor. Anybody who gets in a position of power is going to further the agenda of the oppressor. Nothing's going to change.
Right.
If anything, just like Cap said, if anybody tries to make a move, they're gonna fire you. They're gonna figure out some kind of way to say, oh, you stole money, or you illegally didn't register, and say you had 2 houses, just like they did the sister, what's her name, when she did the prosecution of President Trump. And they tried to say she lied on her mortgage application. You understand? They figure out anything.
They find any little thing that you did wrong.
Right.
Right. What it is. Hey, but all in all,
listen. Any black people that are up there in positions of power are under the authority of the oppressor. It's nothing else said. You keep believing that you're gonna go out here and you're gonna vote somebody into power that's gonna change your condition. It's not gonna happen. Voting. Listen, this is how democracies work. Democracy is just as it is. You understand? This is what a democracy really is. There's no such thing as a good democracy. This is the reason why America spreads democracy with the sword. Every country that they go into and they invade, they say we're gonna put it here, because communism or this socialism, this is the thing that's the evil of the planet, when democracy is the very evil of the planet. Democracy is nothing but Christianity.
Mm-hmm.
Point blank. When you look at democracy and look how it spread just like Christianity was spread with the sword. You look back in history and you see when those what they called them, the Crusaders came. When the Crusaders went across different lands and different countries,
right.
They would send in the priests and the monks to get the people to switch over to Christianity. If they disapproved and rejected the priests and the monks would leave, and the next day the Crusaders would come in and start chopping heads. If the people still didn't turn from that point, then they burned down the whole village and move on to the next village. That's how Christianity was spread. That's how democracy is spread. USA aid is a form of the sword. This is what America does. Listen, what was the country just had the 7.4 earthquake?
It was in South America.
Not Chile, right?
Was it Guatemala? I'm not sure. We covered it last 2 weeks ago, right?
We covered it last week. But this is the thing, right? What happens is America waits,
see if I can find it
till there's a disaster like that, and then they come in, they destabilize the government, and then they use that aid and say, listen, if you need this aid, we'll give this to you, but you have to have a form of democracy. Then America comes in, puts in who they want to put in, and then they can come in and pillage this
Colombia. The water, Batak.
Yeah, Batak, Colombia.
I was just on a little cross again.
But they come in, and this is what they waiting for Colombia right now. They waiting to come in. They waiting to offer them this aid, and in exchange for offering that aid, they're gonna have to let certain people be ahead of the government. And when they let those certain people become the head of the government or within the government, now America can come in and pillage this country for its resources. That's what it's doing to Venezuela right now. As we speak, they kidnapped a sovereign president from a sovereign country, which is illegal by international law. America does not respect international law. America expects every other nation to abide by international law.
Not only that, America doesn't respect law
at all. At all.
We could just go there.
That's the end all. That's the end all be all right there. America doesn't respect law at all. They can do everything. Think about what they're doing in the Straits of Hormuz.
Right. Come on.
You're in the hemisphere of another country talking about this is our strait right here.
Imagine Iran come down the Panama Canal.
Wait a minute, stop. Let's do something better than that.
Cuba.
What did they do when Russia came?
I knew you was going there. The Soviet Union, chat. They was like, listen, Cuba, y'all bugged out, and then still persecuting Cuba to this day
for that.
And people are dying because of that today. People on ventilators in the hospitals are dying from that today because of the sanctions on what they're doing on Cuba.
Yep,
on Cuba. You understand? That's so cool. And just imagine and today, imagine Iran or any country going down to Guatemala, Panama, right?
Right.
And they say, you know what? We're going to invest here. We're going to take this over. We're going to run this joint. America is going to be, come on, y'all.
Salaki, let's go to the Western Hemisphere. If they come into the Western Hemisphere.
In general, anyway.
So how does America go into their hemisphere?
Right.
To the Eastern Hemisphere and try to control anything.
Because they untouchable.
But again, here we go again, though, right? When you allow America to destabilize you and put military bases saying that they're going to protect you with their military bases, right? They lie to you and tell you that this is your enemy right here, when in fact America is really your enemy.
Right. And look, not only that, how many military bases was attacked after Iran got attacked? So many. Qatar.
Yeah.
Qatar, Saudi Arabia. Let me ask you this:
UAE.
How many Iranian bases is in South America?
Not one.
How many Iraqi bases? Any base that's foreign to anything on the Western Hemisphere, allies or anything in Canada, Mexico, Guatemala, Panama, Brazil, Chile, all those nations on the South America.
Let's go here.
Can't find one.
Let's do this even better, right? They said Russia has one military base, which is in Syria.
Come on.
They said China has two military bases.
Come on.
If I'm not mistaken, they're not even in the Western Hemisphere.
Come on, man.
Both of them are in the Eastern Hemisphere, and they said they're not even far from China.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? It's nothing to protect your own borders. But when you're you're halfway around the other side of the earth with over 800 military bases. And now what Iran is saying that this war will not be over until America's military bases are out of the Middle East, meaning that they will no longer have power. That's the war about to happen, because America knows if it gets choked off from the Middle East, America dies instantly. That means you have no more access to any oil or any resources coming from the Middle East. So this is what do they call it? The dying. This is that dying where you go around and you just the dog with rabies. Know you dying and you just biting everything that you can.
Babylon is falling.
Babylon is falling. Hey, listen.
Can we get this? I know
what we watching right now. What we watching right now is history.
Come on, hey, look.
We don't think about it right now, but you guys, sir. But yeah, let's.
Do you want to get back to that local article, or you want to go national? Get back national.
The local article. Well, the local article was on
Baltimore.
The Baltimore. That was the
We can get that real quick, and then we can get to. We touched on Gary, but we ain't got time to go back to Gary.
Okay.
And then we'll go to Israel after that, and then we gotta close.
Come on, sir. So you want to do the Baltimore news was local news, though, right?
Yeah, let's hit that because we was on it for a minute.
Okay.
Then we sidetracked.
Come on.
Let's get back to this Baltimore. We ain't off at Westmore and Brandon
This
Scott.
was the shooting. Then this was the shooting right down at Lexington Market.
No, I'm on the educational system.
Oh, wait a minute. Which did you send that to me?
I did send it to him.
All right, let me go back out again. Hold on.
Back to class. Baltimore school CEO faces challenge to improve low student performance.
Back to school. I don't got that. I got the Hispanic student on the low.
Hold on, let me get this to you then. Bear with me. Hey, chat, y'all bear with me 1 second, chat. So we got some local news that's prevalent, especially with you already know schools better be back in session even this week or in general.
Right.
And it's a lot of things going on, but let me get this over to you. But
They're
this
also
is
talking about that
pressing.
Hispanic enrollment is dropping too because of, you understand, the sanctions and the deportations. You know what I mean? It's declining, because a lot of Hispanics know, even though they're legal, they don't care if they're legal or illegal. They still deporting them, period.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And if you're a Hispanic and you've been here for 20 or 30 years, and then they send you back to your way or
check
Mexico.
Check your Facebook Messenger.
Is that what I'm doing wrong?
No, I just said it.
Okay.
I thought it would be faster.
Okay, come on, sir. I got it. Let me know when you ready.
Ready. But you can go ahead though.
All right, this is a Fox News. Back to class. Baltimore school CEO faces challenge to improve low student performance. Baltimore, that was the day. This is real. This is CEO welcome to district 70,000 students starting the 2026-27 school year with more than just the new. He said what he. The reason why they paying CEOs and superintendents the money that they pay, because these are the results that they want. You understand? There's nothing new. This is what they want to happen. This is why they pay them that kind of money, to keep this stuff going. You understand? Because in the end, they know they're gonna make money off of. Dawson told, it's really a ministry for me. On Monday, Dawson visited schools across Baltimore, welcoming students back for the first day of class while beginning his first school year as CEO of Baltimore City Public Schools. I am really dedicated to making sure that all children receive the high quality education that I received, said Dawson. But to get there, his district has a long way to go. Dawson took over as city school CEO on July 1st. He replaced Dr.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Good thing they fired that bitch. Slocky.
Right.
Listen. Hey, you got some work to do because they was messing up. You understand? Kids can't read, bro. Can't do math and all that here.
Well, he's 12 years behind right now.
Right.
Who led the district for 10 years. When Dawson assumed the role, he inherited Maryland's lowest performing school system. Think about that. He inherited Maryland's lowest performing school system. Baltimore City is a black city, and it has to be the lowest performing school system because this is where they want us to be. This is where all of those prison systems around Maryland, Cumberland, what's that called? What's that?
Westminster,
Central Laundry, all of that. This is where all of these people are sent. You understand? And this is a, what do they call it? This is the place where they
tourist attraction.
Yeah.
Baltimore, you got all the stadiums here. You got all the teams with Towson. Not so much with Stevenson or what have you. They like more low level or second tier or what have you. But it's a big money grab in Baltimore. And with Baltimore, they seem to, well, Governor Westmore, along with Mayor Brandon Scott, of course, they're investing in this Baltimore Ravens team. They're investing in the Baltimore Orioles, which is expected. But don't at the same time shun the students. You know what I mean?
Right.
Don't undermine and shun and, never mind the importance of the children. And our children are performing on such a low level, it's embarrassing.
Right.
It's embarrassing to have a student graduate from high school and not have the ability to read in 2026. That is utterly ridiculous. With all of the technology, all the advancements, all of the curriculum advancements, it is absolutely ridiculous that our children cannot read. And you know what they say? It starts at home. No, they don't. They're not the teachers. It starts at the school. It starts at the school.
That's what they get paid for.
That's what they get paid for, right? And not only that, if it starts at the home, stop. You need to get the real niggas involved.
Right.
Mayor Brandon Scott. You need to get real brothers involved because we about and better of here in Baltimore, Israelite School of UPK, Baltimore chapter, along with the Eastern Shore and all throughout Maryland. We'll come down to Annapolis, Governor Westmore, where you live at.
It's a lot, if I may.
Come on, please.
Let's stop. All of that money that you're sending out to these CEOs and stuff like that, we got teachers right here in this school that you can pay a whole hell of a lot less to and get more of a benefit. You understand? Give us a couple of buildings. Give us a couple of buildings and a couple of months. And we can change Baltimore City just like that. You understand? We got right here in the school. It's not of the oppressor to do the job that we have the power to do ourselves. We're going to young to save us. We can't be.
That's what West more than.
Yeah.
That's what you politicians think.
Yeah.
And listen, you got the power and the money to pay. And this is going to education now. You need to invest into our park at Camden Stadium. You need to invest in our future and our teachers. You understand? And not only just the teachers, personally. Here in the Israelite School of UPK that went through their certification, went to school in the educational system that truly do their job at the highest level. But you failed those teachers.
Right.
You failed those teachers. Now you should be this CEO that we mentioned right now. Should be asking questions. He should be asking those principals. Hey, which are the ones right here? Give me the ones. We're gonna build a curriculum that like one. Ask those teachers questions. Do these instead of spending bills, right? I mean, even a child can comprehend that. School is important. That's ran by billionaires. Right. What are we even talking about? Yeah. Keep a billionaire, need a people, but we're gonna drop this off. You want to get a little bit more?
Let's get a little bit. Says, according to Maryland's inflation rate, lowest average SAT score, and lowest English proficiency rate. If I may, sir, that was one thing that coming out of school that they made it a mind that we came out of school knowing English, but not only knowing English, it was English comprehension, to be able to comprehend what people were saying to you. You understand? People can speak words. You can hear words and you can understand words, but knowing and understanding what a person is saying to you, comprehension is one thing is really saying to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know words, but you don't understand, like, what is he saying? What does that mean? You understand? You had to be able to comprehend. And that was one thing that the teachers instilled in us at that time in the 70s through the 80s. They cut all of that comprehension out. Stop giving you understanding. Once you can't understand the word, you begin not to be able to read. You understand?
You got it.
Process. But eventually, by the time 1990s came and they had no student left behind, you understand? That was the whole point of having no student left behind. So that the failures of the teachers would be wiped over. So you can't really tell what teachers are failing and what teachers are not. You understand? Because there's no student left behind. So everybody's graduating, and you really don't understand and know that until after that child graduates or that adult graduates, and then they get into the working world and can't function within the working world. Once you can't function within the working world, now people get, because no student left behind. No matter what grade you get, we're forcing you forward. And every time they force you forward, you fall back further and further and further.
Right.
You understand? Till you graduate, but you're reading on a 6th grade reading level. Your comprehension level is on a 5th grade reading level. Barely stand. So that's the whole point. If you go into a lot of these prisons now, and you ask these brothers to, fill out paperwork or fill out court papers or documents, they need help. They need help because they don't understand. And listen, it was a beast being in court and filing my own papers, and then having to go through, and I had to look up legal terms.
Right.
To do my own work, I had to look up legal terms, and I know if I had to look it up and then I had to get the understanding, I know it's a beast if you come up with no training and comprehension.
Right.
You understand? So this is a system that was meant to do just what it's doing right now. And this CEO, I can guarantee you, in 3 years, we'll be talking the same way we're talking about Brandon Scott and Governor Westmore.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna be talking about him in the same way because he's gonna be furthering the agenda. He's getting paid enough to keep the party going.
There you go.
Understand? To keep the party going. And this is gonna be up to us to change the whole scenario. And it's gonna be a war. It's already a war.
Right.
You understand? We already at war. We've been at war since we hit the shores of America. You understand? But now it's time to stand up and fight. It's time to get some kind of understand and pull the veil from in front of our eyes and faces. You understand? Look at what's going on. You understand? $35 million in Rash Field when they could have been spreading that money throughout the city and building the city up. Man, you see how horrible North Avenue Bridge look? See how horrible Baltimore streets look? All of the potholes, and you got $35 million to renovate Rash Field, to make Rash Field a place that people will want to visit. People should want to visit Baltimore, period. It used to be Charm City.
Right.
You understand? Now it's called Bodymore Murderland.
Right. Oh, you got that.
That's horrible. You go from charm to body. You understand? It's up to us to change the look of our city. I know it's a lot of people in Baltimore City that love Baltimore. I love Baltimore. You understand? I love Baltimore. We got to make Baltimore better because our politicians are not going to do it. Think about all of the mayors we done went through, from Kurt Smoke to what's that? Sheila Dixon to what's that other? What's the broad that got locked up?
Catherine
Pugh. To what's the other one that was before her that took over for Sheila Dixon and then fell out?
No, it was he got appointed because she got arrested, right? Was it I forget his name. No, because he was the president before.
You talking about
I forgot his name.
The one they did the wire behind.
No, that was before him.
What's his name though?
I'm not sure. I'm
referencing. It was Sheila Dixon. It was Sheila Dixon. Stephanie Rowland Blake.
But I'm talking about, it was a cat that was
Catherine
after when Catherine Pugh got arrested.
That's what she had.
No. Catherine Pugh got arrested for the book scandal.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It was another brother that got elevated from president to mayor. I forgot his name, but it wasn't Brandon Scott. That wasn't his name. That was not his name. It's another mayor.
We didn't have too many mayors. It's been too many.
It's up and down, but I forgot his name. He was a peculiar character. He was funny, man. He was a trip. He was one of those.
It's been too many of them, though. You know what I mean? Yeah. And the thing about it is, think about this. Think about all of this scandal.
I'm gonna get his name in a second.
Think about all of this scandal that has been behind all of these mayors that we had in Baltimore City, right? Out of all of the mayors, every mayor that has been black has always had a scandal behind their name, but every mayor that has been white has never had a scandal, which is kind of odd because all of them have the same agenda. You understand what I'm saying? Whether it be
Catherine Pugh. I spell that.
P-U-G-H, right? P-U-G-H. Is that it?
I think so. Oh yeah, Jack Young.
Ballhead Jack Young.
Oh,
Ballhead Jack Young. Yeah. That was my man too.
Ballhead, he's a trip.
Jack Young was my man.
Jack Young, he's a trip.
And I talked to him personally.
Yeah.
Face to face.
Word. Yeah. Now Jack Young, before he became mayor, he was a president of something. But he was next in line or what have you. I think he's still in the game or in politics or whatever. But Jack Young was after.
I got his card in my wallet.
And he ran for mayor after.
Yeah.
Against Brandon Scott
too.
He
seat up afterwards. He gave it up.
He gave his presidency up.
No, he gave the mayor seat up.
Okay.
Yeah,
I thought he ran
He
though.
said he didn't want to run no more. He gave it up. Yeah,
but that's real.
That's
real local. That's real
that
local.
was my man. Yeah.
Jack Young.
Before I came in the truth,
he was like, he was a peculiar character.
Seen him. Listen, me and my ex-wife had a cleaning contract.
He seen well. I'm gonna tell you that much. He seen well.
Yeah, we had a contract, and we used to go to the gala.
Oh yeah, damn. I didn't even see you talk. Talk was timing in, but he said Jack Young.
Yeah, okay.
He said that a minute ago. He said 2 minutes ago.
Listen, we used to go to the gala that the people we had the contract with had a gala at the what's the spot? East Martins West every year. They booked the whole Martins West every year. Had a big gala
Windsor
every year. Right?
Woodlawn.
Yeah, at the Martins West.
Right.
Met him there.
Right.
And talked to him. He gave me his car and everything. I said, man, I hope you become mayor, man. We need to change here. You know what I mean? And he became the mayor.
Yeah.
But
Catherine
he
went to prison. He
took over for her.
Right.
But after he took over for her, after that term was up, he said he didn't want to run no more. That's how Brandon Scott got in. Yeah, because and then he ran against somebody else. But Jack Young said he was giving up, and I think he, after running her term out, he realized how effed up it was, and said, "You know what? I ain't gonna tarnish because I believe they probably try to give him money too.
Mm-hmm.
I believe, and then how they gonna let Sheila Dixon get out of prison and then run?
And then run again.
How was that?
She was a real candidate.
Listen, but the thing is when you taking money and hiring your family members to do jobs that they not really doing, you just giving them checks.
Yeah, y'all go down to City Hall and them city buildings, right? I went up there,
right,
for particular things for the school.
Right.
They be surprised anybody even come up there.
Yeah.
But I went up there for building grants and city-owned buildings.
Right.
I'm knocking on the door. They coming out the back like somebody here.
Right.
They coming out the building with them like somebody here, and then I get in there and I sit down. I'm like, listen, I'm looking at these buildings. I'm trying to see, what's available as far as the city grants is concerned. You know what they did? They put out a laptop and they went to the website I went to
right
to look for the buildings. Like I'm here because
right.
You know what I mean? Like, what are you? And they probably getting paid $100,000 a piece in that joint.
Right.
Wasting Baltimore money. Like,
actually, so if I may, sir, they're not wasting Baltimore City money because they have to let those properties sit for the property value to drop, so those investors can come in, take it, charge you $1 million for it, and redline the black right on out. Understand this?
But let me ask you this, madam. It should pick you up. What are you in that building for? 9 to 5 for?
Well,
you're in that building 9 to 5 for what? I'm coming for service.
Right.
You're giving me the laptop that I had at home to look up the property. I'm searching so many properties. This property here, I'm searching. I'm taking pictures. I'm taking notes, and I got a whole list. Boom. I'm at the city building with X, Y, and Z department.
Great, tell you.
Come on, man. Come on.
Listen.
Come on, man. Tell me what's up.
When
I went
to go pay a fee, abandoned vehicle fee, they said go to Pulaski Highway, go to this. I'm out there on the phone with them.
I was on Fayette Street.
Listen,
I was at that big building on Fayette.
Wait a minute. I'm on the phone with them. They said go to this. I said I'm here. I said, but it's an abandoned building. They said, what? I said, I'm sitting right here at the building. It's an abandoned building.
What's up? Come on, man.
Wait a minute. They had to direct me. It took them 2 days to direct me to downtown to go pay that abandoned vehicle fee at a spot downtown. But They didn't even know that building was abandoned. So my thing is them people were sitting in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can't pull up and say it's an abandoned building.
Right.
So they have to have somebody in there, but nobody comes there so much so that they sitting in the back playing cards and eating.
Come on.
And then when you come knocking on the door, they like, what you need? Nigga, what you here for?
Come on.
You know what I mean? And that's the whole point. So it's not money lost. It's to say that, oh, we did have somebody there. Right. You understand?
Formality.
Right.
So it was a formality. But even in that formality, is that formality cost $100,000 a year for each person that's in there? Think about that.
Wait a minute. Listen, I had to email the mayor.
Damn.
For them to call somebody to call me back and say, come over here and you can pay it over here. You understand what I'm saying? I had to email them.
No, this is the thing with them. So the system is fraudulent.
Yeah, all the way.
I don't think we're in disagreement at all.
No.
I think we in agreement.
No, we in agreement.
Because it's so ridiculous to the point where when somebody really try to take initiative to better the city.
Yep.
Because this entire school is not only to better the brothers and sisters, but when brothers and sisters get enriched and value was added to them, it improves the conditions of the cities.
Right.
Why? Because we're given morality.
Think about how many brothers though, right? That would take a good job over selling drugs.
Come on.
Right?
Hundreds.
Yeah.
Thousands.
So it's easy.
They want to.
It's easy to clean up the streets of Baltimore without locking everybody up.
Come on.
You understand what I'm saying? Giving brothers an opportunity to change their lives. And that's what we do right here in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Commanding General Yohana. We give brothers a chance to change their lives. Go ahead, sir.
Let me add to that too, right? Brandon Scott is right for trying to create conflict resolution.
Right.
But you can't create conflict resolution without creating jobs.
Right. Yeah.
You can't create a conflict to the squeegee boys without creating jobs.
Right.
You can't create conflict to the drug epidemic without creating jobs. But if you continue to give grants and jobs to the oppressor,
right,
that comes in and extort us, now you got a problem on your hand.
Right. Now,
this is why the UPK is needed.
Again, you have to have a summer program for youth. Not a summer program, but summer jobs for youth. Because you got too many young kids out here that you have too many young kids out here that want to work. Mm-hmm. Think about this, right? I seen some young kids.
Growing up, you wanted to cut grass.
Listen, wait a minute.
That ain't changed.
But Cap, at 13, we see dudes hustling at 13, 14, and 15 years old. I see them out there trying to squeegee car. They could be doing something totally different.
100%.
Selling water.
You know why? You know why that is, Governor Westmore? Because they're hungry. They're hungry. They need a snack from the goddamn corner store. I mean, goddamn, what are you talking about? What are we even talking about? They need a meal. You know what they're gonna do with that 50 cent? They're gonna go grab a pack of noodles, man. That's gonna be, I mean, goddamn, that's like having on earth for like a little bit of relief.
Yeah.
God damn. That's what we're talking about here.
And Salaki, if I may, when you see a kid out there squeegeeing, right, and trying to make a living selling bottles of water and stuff like that, that's them using their last little bit of resources
to come up
before they fall into the streets. This is kids that don't want to be in the streets doing the wrong thing. This is kids that here you should be doing the right thing. You shouldn't be out there selling drugs. This is that when every time you see a squeegee kid, This is exactly what you looking at.
And
You looking at,
and then they come against them.
yeah. You
Then
looking at,
then they come against them. Like there's a whole. If I could just
yeah,
hold your point, if you could. There's a whole, like, especially if you listen to certain radio stations. There's a stigma, yo. They hate them for being poor.
right,
They can't respect it or recognize the position that these young men are in because they hate black people.
right,
That's why Governor Westmore hates squeegee boys. That's why Mayor Brandon Scott is trying to clean. Oh, we want to clean up the city, but they can't be here trying to adhere to the white folk. We know what it is. White people hate squeegee boys.
right.
I don't hate squeegee boys.
Right.
I make sure I have $1 in there.
Yeah.
I'm mad when I ain't got 50 cents
Right.
on $1. I'm like, damn, bro, hey, man, I ain't got it, bro.
Right.
I'm upset now. But you know what happened? You know what this is a result of? Martin Luther King, Jesse Jackson. All your black ministers then dwindle because the oppression under the devil, the so-called white man.
Right.
You understand? But this is gonna have to be the last story too.
Yeah. But that was, I mean, think about it, right? For a kid to be out there, especially in the hot summer, right?
They cracking down on water boys.
Yeah. I mean,
You cracking down.
why would
you cracking down on a water boy?
But not on the
You're
dudes that selling
cracking down-
drugs.
You're cracking down on water boy, but not cracking the water. You got a policeman sitting out in front of the liquor store, watching the drug dealers,
Right.
watching them, just letting them sell their drugs. But a water boy, water boys,
Ain't no selling.
no squeegee boys. But check a Mayor Brandon Scott, make sure they got a patrol car at each liquor store, at each corner store, just to watch the drug dealer,
Yep.
watch the prostitution.
Oh, they got protection then.
Come on, man.
They got protection.
Sex work now.
Yeah, they got protection.
But you want to close?
Come on.
Any closing remarks, please? Any closing remarks?
Listen, like we said, we gotta and I don't care. I understand. No, I don't. I don't understand. Listen, we gotta support them squeegee boys because they could be doing worse. They could be out here selling drugs. They could be out here breaking into somebody's car. But when you have the fortitude to stand out there and sell water, when you got the fortitude to stand out there and ask people to squeegee their cars, that's somebody standing out there that don't want to do evil, that's trying to make the best way that they can. We got to support them on that. You understand? If you here in Baltimore, you see a squeegee boy, just know he trying to do the right thing and not the wrong thing. I yield, sir.
Absolutely. You said that perfect. You said that was a perfect breakdown. They're attacking people that are not trying to do evil and that are trying to do the right thing.
Right.
Brandon Scott, you hear that? Put that in your mind, Brandon Scott. Put that in your mind, Governor Westmore.
Right.
And all you city councilmen or what have you. You're attacking people that are trying to do the right thing and not trying to go down a horrible path. You understand?
Yeah.
But if you don't have any morality, if you don't have any sense of what's the word I'm looking for?
Moral responsibility.
Moral responsibility or mercy. You don't have any mercy
Right.
towards the poor. You're going to attack them. You're going to hurt them. That's why you need counsel and instruction from the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. This here is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Start out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We are under commanding Juliana. We teach the truth of the Bible that the Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians are, in fact, the true biblical Jews of the Bible, and that our oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. I'm your host, Captain Sapari, along with
Officer Matham.
We'll be back here next week, Lord of Law, weather permit, bringing you your local, your national, and your international news. With that, Shalom, Israel. wrap it up.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man, if you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please go to ISUPK.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one West. They're one West. They're one West. They're